MMA UK, Abdul Ahad Patel. I'm here with Chris Astley. Chris, 2 years out the game, 2 years of grafting. Talk to me, what's been going on?
Yeah, no, I picked up a bad injury. I've kind of like a stroke in my nerve somewhere between my C5 and my two little fingers. No treatment available whatsoever, so it's been tough 2 years, mate. It's pain every day, every second of every day gets you down. But I'm back and feeling good again, feeling fit. I mean, I've not been able to train properly, but I've always been in the gym, so I've kept myself active, keep keep evolving with the guys in the gym. We've got a great gym, so just trying to stay involved. Albeit I couldn't push my body to what I'd like to, but back in the game now and ready to go, raring to go.
So you're competing on Raged. The last time you competed was also on Raged, right? And you competed against Thomas Paul. Third round rear naked choke. Ended the game. You got him out of there. Obviously, 2 years out the game, a lot's changed since. Um, Talk to me about about the injury in details and like what you've done to overcome that, because this is an interview that I've wanted for a long time, knowing you personally and knowing your game. Um, Again, someone that's exciting in the MMA scene. Talk to me about how you've overcome that and what we can expect on fight night.
Yeah, I think what in terms of what to expect, it's going to be very much. My game plan doesn't really change. I go in, I feel the fight, and I'll take the fight to where I want to take the fight on the night. I'm confident in all areas, and I think over the last 2 years I've worked on the mental side of the game. That's where I've really had to put the focus in. Being injured, as any athlete will know, for me that's the hardest bit. Mentally overcoming being injured, you feel not anything against the team, but you don't feel part of that team because you're not competitive. You can't push the body, you can't push others as hard as you want to be. So mentally, that was really tough and been difficult to overcome. And there was points over that 2 years I thought maybe this will never happen. Like was my fighting career taken away from me? Was that taken out of my hands? And that's really tough to get your head around. So yeah, over the moon to be back, and really can't wait to just step back in there and do what I do. And I want to get back to that. I mean, I was 10 days out from fighting on Cage Warriors, so that's what I want to go back to. I want to get back to that show. I feel like I owe it to a few people as well. A number of sponsors helped me get to that point, and I wasn't able to kind of follow through with that fight. So I've reached out to those, or some of those sponsors, not everyone just yet. But I will be repping all those guys for this upcoming fight with no sponsorship whatsoever. But I feel like I owe that from 2 years ago. So it's just something I'm trying to give back to people for what they did.
Yeah, that's quite noble of you as well, because as you're fully aware of, it's quite hard to earn a living without sponsorships as well. Um, so, there's a lot of emphasis on mental health in MMA at the moment. Obviously we had Paddy talking about it at UFC London. Talk to me about your mental health, and 2 years is. I think we can gain a lot from this conversation when you talk about 2 years out and how you manage that mentally as well.
Yeah, I think it's growing. People are educating themselves on mental health all the time. So I think it's a huge part of the game. We talk a lot about. Actually, the game's probably 95% mental, 5% physical, and the margins in mixed martial arts are very small. So I think the mindset going into any fight is huge, and I think that's been a particular focus for me to stay mentally strong over the last couple of years. And don't get me wrong, it helps to have good people around you. So with those good people, I think I'm in a good place, and we're ready to go.
And speaking about good people, it's an exciting time for Trojan Free Fighters. You've got the Figlap brothers, you've got Lawrence, Tracy. You've also got, I know Mario's announced his retirement, but he's still in this scene and still, doing his thing. You've also got the twins there as well, John and Jack, and then there's another two twins, aren't there? So Trojan is like home of the brothers that fight, isn't it? And like, talk to me about your teammates and how like they've encouraged you, and also how they've helped you for this upcoming camp.
Yeah, and I mean you've reeled off a list of names there, and that's just the fighters we've got in the gym. We've got a whole list of other people who come in to do some training. Maybe they don't have aspirations to fight, but their level's very good. So some of the jiu-jitsu rounds we do are high level. We've got some pure jiu-jitsu guys in there, so we're trying to learn and evolve all the time. I think the vibe's one of the best vibes at the moment. And like you say, Mario's not training, but I still see Mario. We do a lot of work together. He's helping me with some sessions and put me through my paces. So again, a wealth of experience. Been there, done that. Got the T-shirt. So yeah, no, it's great to work with the team.
And obviously you've got the likes of Paul Sutherland, head coach, someone who's renowned for what he does and what he has done in the MMA world. You've also got a wrestling coach he's probably been here a lot longer than I know of, but someone that's like really implemented the game. I've talked to other fighters in the gym, and they spoke like highly of that wrestling coach. I know your style of fighting, if it goes to the ground, you welcome it, but equally you're dangerous on your feet. But talk to me about the wrestling and jiu-jitsu aspect of like how your game's improved there.
Yeah, I think just with confidence in the shoulder and not being in pain brings a little bit more to your wrestling game, because you're not constantly thinking about it or worrying about that shoulder. So having that confidence to almost hit people harder without worrying about that pain coming back takes wrestling to a new level. Like I say, we've got Yusuf and Siavash in the gym. Their knowledge is unbelievable. Second to none. So no, it's great to have those guys on, and I think that's credit to Paul. Paul recognises those top level people who can add to the gym. We don't have hundreds and hundreds of coaches in the gym, and it's great that Paul pulls those people in, and Paul's record speaks for itself. So yeah, no, I think it's a good place to be. And yeah, looking forward to, if I need to show wrestling, I'll put some wrestling on. If not, we'll save that for another day.
Yeah, for real. Just going on your fight. So September the 3rd, Raged. Last time you competed was super welter, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So what's it this time around?
So this is going to be a catchweight 82. So super welter was 79.4. But being out of the game and getting a little bit, probably not being able to train as much as I was, it was more about 82. I mean, I can make weight within a week now, so it's not. But it's more about that. Let's worry about the camp and doing that right. Take away the stress of, am I on weight? Am I going to do that? Just want to enjoy my camp. I want to get back in there, feel the cage, go back through that process, get the mindset right. And I think it is a process. You work through that, and so yeah, taking away the worrying about weight cut. As it happens, I think I could probably make 79 if I needed to, but it takes away that stress. So it's always nice to do.
Okay, and so your opponent, he's quite experienced, going in 2 years out. Where's your head at? Like, I know you're quite eager to get back in there, and you spoke about like you being comfortable with the injury, and that's recovered quite well. But you're 2 years out the cage. Anyone that says that it's not going to affect me, there could be argument there. But how are you feeling going into this fight? Quite a seasoned fighter.
Yeah, no, I feel really good. I think and you've got to have confidence in your own ability. I believe that my skill level will be better all round. I think my mindset will be stronger, and I think wherever I need to take the fight or want to take the fight, that's where I can take it, and I think I'll dominate there. So don't get it wrong, it's I also don't want to walk into a fight which is a walkover. So I want to be challenged. What's the use of me at 36 years of age training my ass off every day for God knows how long to go into a fight just to walk over? That's not what this game's all about. So will it be different after 2 years? Who knows? We'll find on fight night. Like you say, I'm not going to put it out there that no, I don't think I'll be affected. But I'm also not new to this game. I've had 12 pro fights. I've had 6 amateur fights. So I've done this walk a number of times. It's just about on that night making sure I'm physically prepared, which I've done the hard work already. Still doing it, don't get it wrong. And mentally making sure I go mental, because I think if I can take in 90-95% of the work I put in the gym and the level I put in the gym, the fight's not a problem.
Yeah, for real. I just going on your last fight then against Thomas Paul. Again, I've said countless times, 2 years out, and forward 2 years ahead. The game's changed so much. People have gone leaps and bounds. As you may be aware, Thomas Paul's potentially going to be competing on Dana White's Contender series. I believe he fought Mario as well, and unfortunately Mario didn't get the win there as well. A lot's changed since those 2 years, and some people may look at it like, oh, Chris is out for 2 years, he hasn't competed for 2 years, but there's also the fact that you've been training solid for 2 years against people like the Figlack brothers, people like Lawrence, people like Mario, and that's where your game really develops in the gym. I know there's all the ifs and whats and the buts in terms of if you didn't get injured, where would you be today? But looking at the game and how everyone's kind of coming forward, does that make you excited for your journey and your career ahead?
Yeah, absolutely. And Thomas has done great. Look, he's earned his shot on Dana White Contender Series, and I'll be supporting him next Tuesday. I want him to do well. I'd love him to go get a UFC shot. I look in the gym ourselves. The fight I got injured from, Matt Figlack took that fight, ended up with a 5-fight contract with Catchweight. That's great for him. One man's lost, another man's gained, and that's part of the game. That's what we're here for. But what that also shows me is actually I'm not a million miles away. So once I get back in, I can prove my levels again on the regional circuit, and then I'll be banging on those doors to get me on Catchweight, Bellator, Brave, wherever it may be. But I want to test myself against the best. But respect first, let's get the job done, go through this process, make sure we get the win, the result, and the performance. I need to feel good in there. That's one of the most important parts. It is all about winning, but then the second part is, how do you feel in there? Because if you're not feeling great, then you need to go back to the drawing board. So that's where I want to go.
Nice. Well, Chris, I know you're short for time because you've got training ahead of you. Any final words before?
No, just a big shout out to everyone who's supported me, backed me over the last couple of years, and I appreciate it's been tough for me. I don't know about you guys, but appreciate the support and the shout out to the sponsors who have backed me. Look out for those guys on my walkout T-shirt. Those guys were all the ones that backed me before. Not reaching out for any more sponsorship for this fight. I'm literally going with what I had before, just to repay that back, and and we'll go again. So I'm looking to be busy, mate. I'll be honest with you. I want to get this fight. As long as I get no injuries from this fight, I'll be knocking on Paul's door saying, what's next, Paul? So if I get 2 or 3 more fights in after this, 1 or 2 more after this year, then great. So 3 fights for this year would be a good result for me.
Yeah, active. Well, September the 3rd, Raged, you can catch Chris fighting on the card. All the best, Chris. Hopefully yourself as well as your opponent both go in healthy and come out healthy as well. And I'm looking forward to see you return to the cage, brother.
Thanks, mate.
All the best.